Whew. All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. All right. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who are pushing the work in truth and in sincerity, bringing forth the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai in these last evil days. That testimony is the spirit of prophecy. All right. Prophecy meaning to say before. All right. And today's lesson, all right, is another addition to now that's wicked E. All right. And this is dealing with the plutonium files. All right. So this series is just to reveal to you uh, the wickedness of the so called white man. All right. They have never, you know, I'll say this: the wicked is being revealed in their time, and this is their time to be revealed. We are at the end, all right, and the Lord has uncovered the skirts of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, all right, and made known to the world his evil works, all right, okay, and is inescapable, all right, and he's going to be exposed. He is being exposed, all right, and while people calling us hate group and so on and so forth, all we do is bring out the facts to the best of our ability. All right. And one of those facts is that the so-called white man has always been evil and hateful towards the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And this is just one more tidbit information, more tidbit information to show his plight in the earth and his works. All right. And the scriptures say you shall know them by their works. All right. Let me get this really quick. All right. This is John 10 and 10. And it reads, it says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life. All right. Who? The elect, the broken, all right, the poor. All right. And this is who we dealing with because Esau has been doing experiments on our people. All right. And this is just one in name of many. All right. And there's other information that we haven't even, that hasn't even been revealed. Um, but more is coming out about this devil and what he has done and his carbon footprint in the earth and his works in the earth. All right. While they're sitting there calling us a hate group, or we're just hateful beings. This is true hate. All right. This is truly hate. All right. We're going to get into it. It says, I am come that they might have life. That's Yahweh Shai. All right. Because we were robbed of life. All right. We're continuously murdered. We're under a system of oppression. All right. And without the Lord, uh, giving us His word, we wouldn't have any comfort. All right, they robbed us of a future, which we never had a future in America. This is not our resting place, of course. This is a place of punishment. All right, as we see, okay, with all the works that's been done to us over the centuries. All right, and continue to be done to us. Okay, it says, and that they might have it more abundantly. What? All right, through His words. Okay, these are words of comfort. All right, uh, in the times of trouble. Okay, okay, because the good news is for the Israelites who've been suffering and continue to suffer under the rule and thumb of Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, so let me do this real quick. All right, all right, and again, it's just tidbit information. All right, the plutonium files. All right, and I got this from the younger brother Uriah in his camp. He was explaining to me that the when he they took a trip out to Detroit. All right. And the brothers in Detroit mentioned this. He said, and hey, I figured it was he posted it and I was like, I figured it was perfect for the little series that we're doing. That's Wicked E. And then we got another one uh uh called Now That's Hate. All right. So this one is the Plutonium Files. Okay. And it says here, America's Secret Medical Experiments in the Cold War. All right. Is a 1999 book by Eileen Wilson. Wilson. All right. It is a history of United States government engineered radiation experiments on unwitting Americans. All right. And that was the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that were locked up essentially. All right. More so probably Judah. But we're gonna get into it, and pull what we can from it. So it says here a little bit more information. It says since the discovery of ionizing radiation, a number of human radiation experiments have been performed to understand the effects of ionizing radiation and radioactive contamination. All right. You don't, and that's the thing. Like you don't play with radiation. All right. When it and experiment on humans, this is completely inhumane. This is completely illogical. This is some mad scientific bull crap. But you can expect. You can. I mean, we don't expect anything less from the so-called white man. All right. And they'll say what that these men you know uh you know how Esau would flip it. They took one for mankind, and you know but this is bullshit, man. you know I'll read a little bit more. So like it says human radiation experiments have been performed to understand the effects of ionizing radiation and radioactive contamination on the human body, specifically with the element plutonium. All right, and this is what you call a crime against humanity. All right, you don't take these radioactive uh, elements and mix it with biology. You don't use it. You don't. It's just you don't do shit like that. Okay. And so lucky because this is kind of frustrating because everywhere you turn, you got Esau. Stuff coming out on him, just doing the most hateful shit. All right, but we're the hate group, and this proves that they're the devil. All right, because there ain't no apology. It ain't no nothing that's given back to the people that had to suffer from these things. All right. And they justify the means. They've always justified the means of doing evil. All right. By dehumanizing us. All right. And they figured, oh, because they're prisoners. All right. We could do whatever the hell we want to them. And the scriptures tell you, even though you have authority over others, it gives you laws that you have to abide by when dealing with people, though they may be criminals or whatever the case may be. Right? It says the experiments began in 1945 when Manhattan Project scientists were preparing to detonate the first atomic bomb. All right. Radiation was known to be dangerous, and the experiments were designed to ascertain the detailed effect of radiation on human health. Why would you want to even deal in that realm? All right. Um, it's because the so called white man is Satan. All right. They are the wicked according to the Bible. Okay. Okay. How is this good for humanity in any way, shape, or form? Okay. It says most other subjects, Wellsome says, were poor, powerless, and sick. You see? And that's Esau's MO. They prey against the weak. They're always privily set against the poor. Okay. From 1945 to 1947, 18 people were injected with plutonium by Manhattan Project doctors. All right. It says Eb Cade was an unwilling participant. All right. Let's see if we can get information on him. Was a construction worker uh, at Clinton Engineer Works in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and was the first person subjected to injection with plutonium. See, that's madness. It says uh, Eb Cade was an unwilling participant in medical experiments that involved injection of 4.7 micrograms of plutonium on April 10th, 1945, at Oak Ridge, Tennessee. This experiment, under the supervision of Harold Hodge, an Edomite, as you can see, all right, and they decorate these people. They give them Nobel Peace prizes, and they applaud them on their efforts towards uh, bringing forth, weapons of destruction, so to speak. Okay, it says other experiments directed by the United States Atomic Energy Commission. All right, says the AEC was an agency of the United States government established after World War II by the United States Congress to foster and control the peacetime development of atomic science and technology. President Harry S. Truman signed. Right. So yeah, it's more Edomites. All right, and agencies, and most of these agencies were created to essentially track, trace, manipulate, sabotage, infiltrate the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American and Indian communities, man. All right, so that they can undermine, all right, and deprive the the tribes. Okay, so it says continue in the 1970s. The Plutonium Files chronicles the lives of the subjects of the secret program by naming each person involved and discussing the ethical and medical research conducted in secret by the scientists and doctors. Albert Stevens, the man who survived the highest known accumulated radiation dose in any human, 4-year-old Simeon Shaw, sent from Australia to the United States for treatment. All right. And Elmer Allen are some of the notable subjects of the Manhattan Project program led by Dr. Joseph Gilbert Hamilton. All right. See, was an American professor of medical physics. Experiment. You would think that they would pour money into maximizing health, but this man is the arbiter of death, man. And the scriptures talk about him being the border of wickedness, the so-called white man. All right, and so we know that these Edomites are the wicked. All right, and there's nothing you can hide or do anymore, or lie about anymore that we won't be able to catch through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay. So these are the people, these are the patient or the subjects, all right, patient number and biographical information at time of injection. Look at that. I'm sure that they ain't gonna give off what the nationality. Look at that shit. 55-year-old man. He dies of heart failure. 68-year-old man. He dies of cancer of chin lungs. Cancer of chin lungs. 58-year-old man. Heart disease. Bronchopneumonia, the 67-year-old man. Brain disease. Look at this shit, man. So the average, goodness gracious. But yeah, as you can see, man, this shit is just diabolical, man. You know, and it just proves that they're the devil. So let's go into some precepts, man. Psalms 10 and 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord, Yahweh? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? All right. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. All right. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. All right. And see, as you see, they persecute the poor. All right. And they're proud to do so. All right. They'll justify the means and go after the most vulnerable people. All right. Mainly you tribes. Okay. And it says, what? Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. All right. Now, you use radiation to experiment on people. Well, guess what? Your end, all right, is going to be full of radiation. All right, because you're going to be hit with nuclear missiles. And what do nuclear missiles give off? Radiation. After the aftermath is radiation. Okay, and that's why America is not going to be inhabited. All right, now it ain't just because it's one instance. This is just one of many. All right, and there's shitloads more information about what this devil has been doing in the earth. All right, verse 3. It says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth." And that's right, man. All right. Okay. They're all about forwarding the wicked. Okay. And that's what this devil. That's why he has no reason to exist, man. At this point, it's like, how long? And as verse 1 says, why standest thou afar off? Because if the Lord don't stop this devil, man, he gonna destroy the world, man. As the scripture going to in Matthew. All right, so verse 4 says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Right. So if this man don't have God in his mind, all right, what is his mind is gonna be set to basically destroy. All right. Because when you think of the most high Yahweh, boy, you thinking about preserving life. This devil don't want to preserve, he don't want to preserve life. He want to destroy it, as you can see. Verse 5, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right. And as you can see, all right, he damn sure is grievous. All right. Oh, man. Salaki, because I had a back injury earlier and it's kind of hard to breathe. All right. So verse 6, it says, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. All right. And this is where you're being you're gonna be set up, all right, for the big okey doke, all right, because it's gonna be a surprise. So the Lord, just like he did Pharaoh in the ancient world, all right, hardened the heart of Pharaoh. And what? He's giving Esau more pride. And it's essentially really through his technology, all right. Because what one of the main things he's the one of the main ways he's forwarding himself in these times is through the sword which is his blessing. Okay. And these experimentations and the you know with these different elements, all right, radiation, that's part of his sword. Okay. His mouth is full of cursing. Oh, so like, yeah, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. That's the so-called white man. All right. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. That's right. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. And this is the point I wanted to get from this precept ultimately, man. All right. He's always secretly trying to overthrow, all right, and go after the most vulnerable. All right. Which of you tribes? That's what our scriptures say. What? The prey departeth not. Okay. The prey departeth not. All right. So the Israelites are under constant harassment, under constant pressure, on and constant threat. All right, of the so-called white man. That's why he has to be moved out of the way. All right, and the Lord is going to stand up. All right, says he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. All right. So again, he's privileged set against the poor. His war is against the poor. You see, people that can't defend themselves. All right. And when his time comes, who's going to defend him? Who's going to stand up for him? That's why he's not going to get any mercy, as according to James. All right. He shall not have no mercy. Who sheweth no mercy? He didn't show anyone mercy. Okay. He just rob and pillages. All right, and then he stands up in the public eye as if he's some noble humanitarian when they're the complete opposite. Right, he croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And that's his mo. He's always playing coy. He's always playing as if he's for you, you know and then in reality, it's lucky. Okay, and that's why the scriptures, I went into it the other day. um Never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy. Okay. So moving on. All right. Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Well, I started one. Psalm 64 and 1. It says, hear my voice, O God, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. from the insurrection of the works of iniquity, right? Because they're coming up against again the poor, the needy, all right, the distraught, the ones that need help, the fatherless, the widow, right? These are who he is set against, all right. And that's why I said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, okay? Because there is a secret counsel. They do things in secrecy, all right. It says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right. And they do that in their councils. Okay. They say the most heinous things. All right. And they justify, essentially they justify destroying those who are lowly. All right. Which are you Israelites. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. All right. So they don't have that mechanism where, they'll fear, because they're the wicked. All right. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Is this not an evil matter? All right. I did want to play a video too. You know, I did want to play a video. Um, right. I'll play it after this. All right. They communally and snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Okay. They search out iniquities, and this is an iniquity. All right. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. All right. So there, the scriptures talk about they lose sleep unless they cause some to fall. Right. So this this is the devil, man. All right. That's why we don't trust him. And wherever he takes society, which we know the NWO, he's leading people into this beast system. All right. Uh, uh, um, and only to essentially to enslave everyone. Okay. But wherever he leads society, man, we're not going to follow this, man. All right. So I'm going to play this fair use, fair use. It's for educational purposes only. I am not monetizing this video for any type of monetary gain. This is for history. All right. The untold history that we don't learn in the failed public school systems. So here we
The Manhattan Project helped doctors better understand the effects of radioactivity on.
look. Like I said, they always try to play it off as, uh, there's a benefit, you know, um, to the mat, or there's a what? How they say there's a like it's a benefit to the madness. All right, I forget the term that they coin.
On the human body. From 1945 to 1947, at 4 hospitals around the country, patients received plutonium injections without their consent.
Yeah. So, and do you think they're not doing this shit to today? All right. So it says around the country. If you didn't hear, Lord willing, you heard. All right. Lord willing, you heard. But they secretly inject or were injecting people all over the country. All right.
An African American construction worker, Eb Cade, was injected in April 1945 at an Oak Ridge hospital. Author Denise Kiernan describes the so-called plutonium files.
I came across the files related to plutonium research and research into the effect of plutonium on human beings. And there was a Black construction worker who was coming into work at K25 one morning who got in a car accident. He and the guys in the car with him. There was a car accident about a mile away from K25, and he was taken to the hospital. And he had a broken leg among other injuries. And instead of being, having his leg set immediately, they injected him with plutonium without his consent. And they wanted to track that plutonium and see where it went through his body, which is.
See, and that's the thing. If they were doing this shit then you can imagine what they're doing now. All right, um, especially because of what we know now as far as their agenda with vaccinating people. All right, or introducing them to vaccine. Okay, you can just imagine they want people, or you can just imagine what they're doing behind closed doors now. All right, especially now it's coming out that a lot of food is contaminated, water is contaminated, the air that we breathe is contaminated. um there's particles in the air that are conductive to electricity that's in our systems. All right, forever chemicals and metals in our systems, all sorts of shit, man. And this is why this devil has to be moved, man. You gotta be moved out of the way, man.
Is why they did not set his leg immediately. And they would take urine and feces samples at certain intervals. They wanted to see whether or not it had penetrated his teeth. So they removed, I think it was 15 of his teeth
See.
to see if it had gone there. So that testing was something that I was really bowled over and shocked by. And a lot of this information just came out, became available in the 90s. And there was a commission on human radiation experiments under, I think it was during the Clinton administration. And they said, we want all these records out and we want everybody to be able to look into them. And they interviewed a lot of the doctors who were a part of it and, released as many files and as many papers as they could.
See. Yeah. So I mean, that's what this devil been up to, man. This is Psalms 12, and I'll start at 1. Help, Lord Yahweh, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. Okay, meaning double-minded. All right. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things. All right. And who is the most proud? Of course, Esau. Right. And he's going to put an end to the flattering tongue. Right. Yeah. Because to flatter, right, is to somewhat, I think, praise, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Hebrew word halakwa. Halakwa. And it says here, smoothness. Smooth part, smoothness, flattery. All right. So it's smooth talking. So the Lord's gonna put an end to that. Okay. Um, and not just with Esau, of course, with the so-called Negro who are wolves in sheep clothing as well. But we can apply it to Esau, right? And the tongue that speaketh proud things, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own, who is Lord over us. And who is saying that more than the so-called white man? All right. For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord Yahweh. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. That's right. And the Lord's going to, essentially, he's going to protect the poor, especially in times to come. All right. Daniel 12 and I think it's 1. All right. Then shall the great prince Michael stand for the children of Israel. All right. And because if you thought this was bad, you can imagine what they've been doing behind closed doors, especially leading up to the revealment of the beast system and then the employment of the beast system and the mandatory mark of the beast, which is the chip. Okay. So you can imagine how he's privily set against the poor as of now. Hell, we've seen cases where he's secretly putting chips in people, you know? So we need salvation, man. We really need it. All right. It says the words of the Lord Yahweh are pure words, as as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. All right. So that's it on that. So yeah, I just wanted to, bring that information out. You can go more into it, but um, it just proves that, man, this man is the devil, and that's just wicked, man. This is entirely wicked. All right. And the world is gonna know, all right, before your destruction comes. Well, the Lord is gonna well, it's gonna be justified, all right, because these devils have not really brought anything to humanity to benefit it, but they've done everything in their power to bring down the world, all right, to war against the poor, so on and so forth, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, is just edifying. Until next time, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Shemi Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim. All right, the water for tuning in. Until next time, I say shalom.